Hi, I'm Vivienne MacKinder. I'm actually the founder of Hair Designer TV and Hairdresser TV. Community is really important in the industry because people lead to people, and your career path could take you somewhere extraordinary just through community. The other aspect of what's important about community is the ability to share. You see, I think competition's a good thing, but I also think sharing and having mentors and having teachers and being a lifelong learner can only happen by networking. So, community, when I think about that, there's a community of us as hair artists and what we do with that and how we can stretch our craft, taking it to extraordinary levels. But then there's the community of how you reach the consumer. And obviously today it's made so much more easy through online, but there's nothing more magical than when you connect eye to eye and you look someone in the eyes and you show that you care, that you're there to help, and you can be trusted. And I call that a person of great influence. So when I'm looking for people in my community, I look up. I want to be sure that there's something I can learn from that person. I want to be sure that they will add value to my life and vice versa. And I know I'm going to only be as good as the people I surround myself with. So I'm very, very selective. I look for a slice of genius with a big heart. And I don't care whether you're 20 years old or 60 years old. There's something to learn. You see, I think that there's a huge difference between how rich hairdressers think and poor hairdressers think. And I noticed that rich hairdressers have passion, they listen more than they talk, and they're really open to learning because that's what's made them successful. When you pick your community, don't just think, oh, this is my buddy. You've got to think this is a business. Unless you've married wealthy or you're a trust fund child and it's a hobby. You see, I think there are three types of hairdressers: hobby, job, or career. So when I think of community, I want to find people who are making a career, who are doing extraordinary things, and that's really been part of the secret to some of my success. There are a lot of changes taking place, as there always are in business, and I think now more than ever before, we need to really be very proud of this craft. You see, I think we're in the happy business. We sell happiness, don't we? Actually, a few times I've sold a nightmare when she didn't like it. But for the most part, we're about creating beauty, aren't we? We're in the beauty business, making a beautiful experience. If you don't believe in the value of what you do, then neither will your guest. And if you don't value the craft, then we're lost. This is an amazing craft with so many opportunities. So first of all, it's about being a lifelong learner. You've got to be really committed to that every day, which is critical. You can't give what you don't have, right? So one of the mantras throughout my career has been the law of compensation, and there's three principles. So if you want to earn more money and you want to put more value to what you do, this is it. Are you ready? The first one is skill. You've got to constantly update your skills every single day so that you are producing quality. Now that's saying I'm proud of what I do and I'm going to give my best to whoever is sitting in my chair. The next thing is demand. No point doing what you learned 10 years ago. No point in doing something that nobody wants. It's about either creating the demand or being on a sort of a trend, following that demand. And the third thing is, what makes you special? What makes you unique? Because if you're irreplaceable, your value just went higher and higher. Maybe what you do that's so extraordinary is you connect with your guests, you understand them, you do the most extraordinary consultation, and you take them from here to there. And maybe that's your gift. So you have skill, you do what's in demand, and you're unique, and no one can replace you. So when you think about our industry, thank goodness technology can't do a haircut yet. we do something that's so important. As I said before, we're selling happiness. We are selling beauty. We're adding value to somebody's day. I had a client just recently that said to me, she's a salon owner, she said, I got into this industry at the age of 14, although technically I didn't get in till later. She said, I always felt like an ugly lady, an ugly 14-year-old. And she said, one day I went to the hair salon, and for the first time in my life, I felt beautiful. And she said, on that day, I decided when I grow up, I'm going to be a hairdresser. And now she has a very, very successful salon, a multi-million-dollar salon, and that still is her mantra, 40 years later, making someone look beautiful. A very dear friend of mine said, Viv, never forget that it's all about who you hang out with. You've got to study from the very, very best. So I did at a very early age. I went to the London College of Fashion and I did a 2-year program for film and theatrical hair. When I left there, I thought, gosh, what am I going to do now? And my friend said again, Viv, got to work for the best of the best. So I went to Vidal Sassoon and I did an apprenticeship program. And that's when I started to realize the power of having extraordinary people around me. And I was mentored by icons throughout my Sassoon career. The obvious one, of course, is Vidal Sassoon. But the funny thing about Vidal, my relationship with him grew when I left Vidal Sassoon. I'll never forget one day I went to Los Angeles to his office and I wanted him to write the foreword for a book that I just created. It was a pictorial book. And so I thought, well, if Vidal would write the foreword, then I'm sure the book will sell. And I remember going into that office and I was so terrified, thinking, oh my gosh, but what if he says I'm rubbish? And I sat there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to die a death of embarrassment. And I gave him the contact sheets to my book. And he silently looked. And then he poured down his glasses and he looked at me. And I thought, I'm about to die. He's going to tell me I'm rubbish. And he said, darling, beautiful. It would be an honor to write the foreword to your book. Wow, I couldn't believe it. So that started a very interesting relationship and I got to know Vidal in a different way. I then decided years later, I've been blessed to have been around the greatest hairdressers in the world throughout my career because I've worked for the most major companies and had an extraordinary experience. But what about the people that can't pick up the phone and say, hi Vidal, or hi Trevor Sorby? I thought I need to share this story with them. So I went about making a film series called I'm Not Just a Hairdresser. And I worked with a journalist and he said to me, Viv, the quality of the answer is going to be in the richness of the question. Do you really have amazing questions you want to ask your mentor? I thought, okay. So then I started to think about, well, I know they've been successful, but what happened when things went wrong? What does a mentor do then? What happens when life falls apart? What do you do then? Because I can learn from where they've been and I can take those principles into my life today. You see, I never want to work with someone who's a tourist, like a travel agent that tells you to go somewhere but they've never been on that journey. I want to work with people that have really been there. So I asked all these incredible icons, all these amazing questions, and I got to learn another side of the business and another side of the importance of being a mentor. So working with these amazing mentors, I developed my film series, which is really marvelous. And I realized right there and then, these extraordinary people want to help you, want to share their knowledge. So my message to you is this. You have the access to the internet. All you need to do is look at who's producing amazing work and follow their career. Find someone who speaks to your heart and your soul, who speaks to your dreams. If you look forward, who do you want to be in 5, 10, 20 years? And if you can see someone doing what you want to do way ahead of you, follow them. Learn from them, whether it's through books, DVDs, online, whatever it is, assist. And I tell you what, when you assist somebody, you're in their shadows and you can learn from their successes and their failures. And I've learned a lot by standing in the shadows of my icons. So today, I still have mentors. I have icons in the industry and outside of the industry. Every day I'm studying with somebody. I devote half an hour every day to learn something, whether it be from my friends at Success Magazine, whether it be from other business brilliant people. I want to learn so I can reinvent myself and be fresh and relevant. So mentors, teachers, icons are extremely important. They're available to you. So do that, follow them, and you'll be amazed at the end result. And I wish you great success because it's a brilliant journey. And P.S., don't try and microwave this. It's about marination. And when you marinate your craft, you'll take it to a whole nother level and enjoy the journey. And when you enjoy it, when you do what you love to do with passion, you won't want the ride to end.